bring in Tom Gazzola, who covers the Oilers for TSN 1260. So, Tom, Oilers in a bit of a strange spot here with this predicament following this series postponement against Montreal. What's the latest you're hearing?
So they practiced today, Adnan, in Montreal. Last night they were talking about maybe getting out to Toronto ahead of the game a little bit and setting up for the weekend dip with the Leafs. And then, of course, they play them again on Monday. So a couple of good practices, as Dave Tippett put it. Some scrimmage time, a little 3-on-3 action today. Yesterday, a good, thorough practice, making the most of a weird situation, a COVID situation that obviously came up on Monday, and, the times we're living in, they're just kind of rolling with the punches as best as possible. So heard some rumblings. Maybe they go out to Ottawa for a day or two and then go out to Toronto. And certainly the team services crew is scrambling to get this to work for the Oilers here.
It's definitely going to be a challenge, and obviously we've seen in this season everybody has to adjust. But what's their approach, basically? Is they're going to shift their approach here, Tom? Could be focusing on Montreal. Instead, now you're facing a Maple Leafs team. We all know what happened the last time these teams faced each other in those 3 games, cumulative score of 13-1. What's happening now for Edmonton?
The focus shifts to trying to fix the deficiencies that we witnessed earlier in the month, and there were a lot of them against the Leafs. So that was not a good series for Edmonton. It seemed like anything that the Oilers tried to throw at Toronto and Sheldon Keefe's club, they had the answer for, and they were right on top of the Oilers, and that was the result. You mentioned the 13-1 aggregate scoring. It was just a rough series, and a lot of people around here question what was going on with this team. They bounced back nicely, though, so here's an extra opportunity, some extra days to game plan for the Leafs. The Leafs have struggled in the meantime since they faced the Oilers, which has kind of come as a bit of a surprise. Edmonton's been cruising along really nicely, and maybe a little bit of role reversal, but we'll see when they actually play the games. And then maybe some bumps and bruises get healed as well. Kyler Yamamoto's been on the shelf. Maybe he's good to go by Saturday.
See what happens with regards to Yamamoto specifically, but the guy you always talk with Edmonton is Connor McDavid. Another remarkable season. What are the chances, though, Tom? Crazy. In a shortened season like this, he can actually hit the century mark, 100 points.
Crazy, isn't it? I honestly, Adnan would say that he's going to do it just by sheer will. And he's got 20 points in his last 9 games. He's on an unbelievable clip, just a 9-game point-scoring streak where he's been unbelievable, and he's come up and risen at the best of times. He's got great support from the rest of the crew around him. Obviously, Leon Draisaitl's having a tremendous season. There's been plenty of offense from the back end, but Draisaitl and McDavid have been the drivers. McDavid has taken it to a whole new level. I think he does it. I'm biased. I've watched him the last 6 seasons, front row seat, and he's that type of player where if he wants to do something and puts his mind to it, Adnan, he's that good. And so if you and I are talking at the end of the season and he's hit the century mark, I would say, told ya.
I love the confidence, Tom. He's got it, and you've got it covering him. Tom Gazzola covers the Oilers for TSN 1260. Love the jacket. We'll talk again soon.